You guys already know what this video is about. You knew that when you clicked on the video. So we're gonna just jump or dive right into it. So I went to the thrift store last Saturday and I found some incredible finds. Well, the thrift store I actually went to, I was looking more for clothes, but I couldn't really find anything there that I was really liking. But I did get a couple books from there, and then we went to a secondhand bookstore that's in the same shopping center, and honestly that's my new favorite bookstore. So I have got quite a lot of books. You can't even see them all that we are gonna go through. Yay, what a haul. All right, so we'll start from the top and work our way down. But before we begin, how you doing? You guys having a good summer? You doing anything fun? Let me know in the comments down below, and don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe for more content. And PS, if you didn't know, I've started a book club. It is going to be available on the Fable app, so it's a free app that you can download if you haven't got it already. But go ahead and check it out. The link is going to be in my description. It's also going to be linked down below for you as well. And I can't wait to see you there. All right, but let's go ahead and get into the haul. So, starting off with the books that I have at the top here. We've got the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Now, we were, like, when I say we, I mean Anthony and I, we were debating on getting, like, really, like, cool special edition copies of it. And Anthony was, you know, looking at the bookstore as you do, and he saw these. Well, I think I may have seen them first, I'm not sure, but either way it doesn't matter. But I saw these on the shelf and I was like, oh hey, it's the Lord of the Rings. And then he started to look at them and he was like, you know, I feel like we should just pick these up. And I was like, and he was like, we should just pick them up to have them so that we can read them if we want to read them, and we can still get like special editions. I was like, you know what, you're right. So picked these guys up. We've got, of course, Lord of the Rings, The Fellowship of the Rings, the first book, and then we've got the second book, which is Lord of the Rings and the Two Towers. This cover is really interesting and pretty to me. I don't know, I really like that. And then we have the third and final installment, which is Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. And this one is also quite a beautiful cover. So I'm very happy about those purchases. And if you can't see it behind me, I've got some bookshelves here, which is where they go. Once I'm done with this vlog, I'm gonna put them back up. Or once I'm done with this video, I'm gonna put them back up. And I can give you guys a quick little tour of like the book situation and where I'm kind of putting all these books because I'm slowly running out of space. All right, so the next is going to be another part of a series, but we've got the Lemony Snickets. These were a childhood favorite of mine growing up. My dad used to read these to me at night. I used to just feel so wrapped up in this series because I just kept thinking, for one, like, oh my god, these children don't have any parents. That's so sad. Like, they don't have a mom, they don't have a dad. That's really sad. I used to always think that in my head. But then I also kept thinking, like, they're just little kids like myself. How are they surviving all these crazy, treacherous, like, adventures that they have to go through? It's just insane. So I wanted to go ahead and pick the series back up just because I love and adore it so much, and I want to just have it in my collection for memories. And there's gonna be a time, I'm sure, where I'm just gonna want to read one or two of these books from time to time just to kind of get back to that. I think that that's important to kind of, I don't know, play around and, you know, get in touch with your inner child again. And at the secondhand bookstore, which is called, why do I always blank on the name? It's like Friends of the Library Bookstore or something like that. And I got the first two copies of, or first two books in the series of the Lemony Snickets the last time I went, so I have them up there as well. The unfortunate thing is they didn't have this one, the fourth one, in the hardcover. Last time I went they did, and I kind of regret not picking it up now. They also didn't have the 5th one, but they did have the 6th. So I kind of just was like, let me just get these and then I'll circle back. My memory card is telling me it's running out of space. I knew I should have cleared it off before I started this, but we're here now. So we're gonna see if we can make it work before I have to run and go get a new memory card. I forgot to take off these stickers, but also if you're wondering, I have quite a lot of books obviously in this pile. I actually don't know how many I have. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. 14 books, right? The most expensive book in this pile, wow, okay. Yeah, literally the most expensive book in the pile is $3. That's insane. You're just not gonna find pricing like that anywhere else. So if you have a secondhand bookstore near you, I highly recommend that you just go check them out, see what they have to offer. You do have to peruse a little bit, and that's a part of the fun of shopping at places like this. But when you find something, it feels like a gold mine. So if you've never gone thrifting or going to a secondhand bookstore, just try it. Try it once for me. Pre-owned is just pre-loved, and you're just gonna give it a new home and love it again. This is the next book that I have, and this one is called The Paris Connection. I don't know anything about this. I actually just looked at the cover and I saw the title and I was like, this sounds pretty good. I think I found this in the romance section, so I'm not sure if this is a romance book. I could have also found it in the fiction section, so I don't remember, but I do know that it does involve a couple, and at the top of the book it says, could one split second change her life forever? And that doesn't give you a whole lot of context, but basically on the back it talks about how Hannah and her boyfriend are in love and on the same track. That is, and I think track is kind of like meant to be a pun as well, because they are also on a train. But it says that is until their train divides on the way to a wedding. The next morning, Hannah wakes up in Paris and realizes that her boyfriend and her ticket are 300 miles away in Amsterdam. But then Hannah meets Leo on the station platform, and he's everything that her boyfriend isn't. Spending the day with him in Paris forces Hannah to question how well she really knows herself, and whether sometimes you need to go in the wrong direction to find everything you've been looking for. It sounds really good, so I'm very excited to pick this book up and just see what it's all about. Probably would have been a really great pick to read today because I plan to go to the pool, but I also picked up and am rereading ACOTAR. Well, Court of Mist and Fury to be exact. That's my favorite book in the series and the only one that really matters to me. If it looks like I moved from this earlier position, it's because I just went to go take care of the memory card. But let's hop back into the next book. I picked up The Fault in Our Stars by John Green. This was honestly such a favorite of mine when I was younger. Definitely like in my early 20s, late teens, early 20s, I can't remember. Either way, I really loved and appreciated this book so much. I also loved the movie, surprisingly enough. I don't know if I would still feel the same way if I watched it again, but this one just does have a lot of heart and meaning to me because I had a friend of mine that we actually went to go see the movie together. It's a group of us, but particularly this one friend I just really cherished and had built such a loving friendship and such a great foundation of what I think I kind of try to look for in other friendships. But he unfortunately passed away, and that was a hard time. So when I think of this book and when I think of the movie, it brings back both beautiful and hard memories, but I just wanted to have this in my collection because I originally had it, and after he passed away I got rid of it because I didn't want to see it. But I'm definitely in a better place, feeling much more healed from that I want to have it in my collection. So, all right, wow, I really failed to take off these stickers. Well, if you're wondering, the next 3 books that I have are also a series. Ding! It is the Twilight series. I've completed it. I now have, well, not the entire series, but the main series. There's other books that come after this one, but they're not like, how do I put this? They're not like books that you have to read to know what happens in the main storyline, if that makes sense. They are like, some are a continuation or like a viewpoint on like other things, but like, I don't think you have to read those. This is like how they originally came out. This was the entire series. So that's what I'm trying to say. Anyways, of course I read this forever ago. I read this in high school. When I was in high school, like, all of the girls were walking around with these books, and I was like, what the heck are these? Like, what's this about? I don't understand. Why does everybody want these books? I need to know what it is. And so I finally went to Target with my mom, and we picked up the books. I think I ended up picking up the first one, and then quickly thereafter picking up the rest. But I finally got the hype. I understood it. So once I had them, I had had them for forever. I was in that entire fandom, had everything, blankets, hoodies, like everything Twilight. My room had Twilight posters everywhere. I was very much obsessed. And of course, saw all the movies, just everything. And when I think about it now, those movies are not good. They're not good movies. The production is not that great. The acting is, ooh gosh, the acting is really, really hard to watch sometimes. But like, at the same time though, they just bring back so much memories, and they're really nostalgic and make me feel very happy. Long story short though, I ended up getting rid of my original copies of the Twilight series because I got to a point where I was like, this series is so bad, I don't even want to have a copy. So I ended up giving those away. Didn't throw them away, that's crazy. I don't throw away my books, but I ended up giving away a stack of my books, and those were a few. I think I gave them away right before I moved out of my parents' house. And of recent, I've been wanting to reread the series, and I've been contemplating whether I'm going to do that this fall, since I've read the Harry Potter series, which is normally my fall series book that I reread. But it may be Twilight this year. We may do a little Twilight movie marathon too. If you're interested in seeing that video, let me know in the comments and I'll make it happen. But since I've been wanting to reread them, I was like, I need to go ahead and buy the books again, because I just know it just needs to be something that I keep in my collection. I just need to keep it. I'm not allowed to get rid of these again. But they have new covers, and I don't like those at all, actually. So when I went to Barnes & Noble's and I saw the new covers, I was like, oh gosh. Oh no, I don't know what to do. Like, I don't like the covers. I don't like how everything, I just don't like how it's placed. I don't like the text. I don't know, I don't like it. But when I went to Barnes & Noble's, I did happen to see Twilight, and that looks more like the original cover, so I ended up picking that one up. And Anthony found all 3 of the books that I needed, which is New Moon, Eclipse, and Breaking Dawn. I don't actually really want to take off the sticker. I really like this. I can't tell if this is a old Barnes & Noble sticker or if it's a border sticker. I want to say it's Barnes & Noble's though. If you've seen that sticker before, let me know. Anyways, so I'm so happy that I finally have these in my possession again. Also, the covers are so they're not giving. This isn't really giving, but I live for it. It's classic. So there's that. Like, I also never liked this. Like, what is this? A ribbon? Why? I can understand the ideas behind the covers. I just don't really care for them. In saying all that after I just said that I was on the hunt for the original covers. You know what I do want though? Barnes and Nobles, and I'm sure you can find them probably anywhere, but I noticed it yesterday, and I think I've seen them obviously before, but like now that I've gotten the original books back, I can pay attention to other variations. But they have an all white book set that I want to get. It looks really nice, and it's not that bad. It's like $106 or something like that, so not bad. I might consider doing that. And the next book that I have is going to be Hello Beautiful. I've not read this one before, but I've seen this everywhere, and I can't remember if what I've heard were good things or bad things. I don't know. But I do know that I've been wanting to read it, so I figured I'd pick it up. And it's not it's not a bad book to have on the shelf. It is actually really beautiful. Oh gosh. But from what I understand, when I was reading the synopsis, it basically follows this young man who has had a rough upbringing, and he's got a lot of like family troubles and stuff, and he meets this really beautiful girl who's just, I guess, kind of like everything that he's not, and it just kind of tells that story. And I'm sure there's going to be some kind of impact, probably an emotional impact, I don't know, but we'll find out together if I get around to reading this anytime soon. It's definitely not on the top of my list to read, but I do want to get to this, mostly because it's I'm assuming a literary fiction novel, and I have to read those in doses. So the last 3 books that I have, I'm so excited to share these with you guys. These are some, we'll say, Wizarding World books. They're not all Harry Potter, but they are all within the realm of the Wizarding World. So the first 3 are going to be Harry Potter based books. This one is Tales of Beedle and the Bar. And this one is, honestly, I'm just really excited about this. It reminds me very much of like the illustrated versions of the Harry Potter series, but this one tells the story of Beedle and the Bar, if you couldn't tell. And if you don't know what that is, you definitely have to read Harry Potter. But the symbol that I have tattooed on me, if you can see it here, this is not a very good angle because of what it is, but this symbol is, they got that from this book. So basically the triangle is the cloak, the circle is the stone, and then the little stick or line looking thing is a wand. And that all comes from this series, which is actually what you see on the back here in between. Maybe you can see that. So I'm excited to have it. It looks really pretty. Like, it's so pretty. I'm such a child. Like, look at that. That's beautiful. There's this one page that I keep flipping to. Oh, that one was really pretty. Okay. I'm gonna have to read this. I'm just gonna have to read this, but yeah. I think these are really pretty. So that's the first one, and of course it comes with a little bookmark thing. This one was only $2. I thought that these would have been more expensive. Because Anthony had found them at the thrift store. We went to like a Goodwill or whatever. And I was like, he brought them over and he's like, oh, look at these. Like, you don't have to buy these, but I figured I'd show them to you. And I was like, I'm buying those. I don't even care what they are. I'm gonna buy them because they're Harry Potter. And I was like, how much are they? And he was like, no more than $2. And I was like, I'm definitely buying those. That's no question. So that's the first, or that's one. And then the next one is going to be Quidditch Through the Ages. I think this one is pretty cool. If you don't know what Quidditch is, you've definitely not read Harry Potter, but it's basically, think of it as Harry Potter or like the Wizarding World's version of like football or like baseball, like a really big sport that's in the Wizarding World essentially. It's neither one of those sports, although it does combine quite a lot of different elements. But you're flying on a broom, so I don't really have a sport I can compare it to. But again, same kind of concept. You see like different pictures and things like that. So I'm excited to kind of read what this one is all about. Look at that. That's fun. So that is the next book. And then the last book that I have, and the last book that I have in general in terms of this haul, this one is going to be the Fantastic Beasts and Where Do You Find Them. This one is basically the, what do you call it? Fantastic Beasts illustration version of the book, essentially. So kind of like how I have my Harry Potter. I only have the first 3. I really need to go get the others, but basically it's those, but Fantastic Beasts version. Which, to be fair, I liked Fantastic Beasts, but wasn't thrilled by it. It doesn't hit as much as Harry Potter does. I think the friendship element and just the magical world and like all of those like kind of real life situations that get elevated somehow by this wizarding world or this magical element is what really drives it for me with Harry Potter. And even though this one still obviously has like this magical world to it and it's still taking place in this basically the same world, it just doesn't really hit the same for me. I've never been obsessed with this story, but I still wanted to get it anyways. Again, very, very pretty. So that is that. And that's the entire haul. Quite a haul for me, guys. I wasn't anticipating buying nearly as many of these books because the last time I went, I did not pick up this many, but I'm really happy with what I did pick up. So I'm gonna put these books back and then I'll give you like a quick little tour of where all of the books are currently at in the house. And I'll show you an addition that I did to my bookshelf out here because I'm actually really, really happy about it. Okay, time for a quick little tour of the books. So first thing is I've added some bookshelves on either side of the couch. Sorry, puppy. They look so puny in comparison, but this is what it looks like when you're looking like head on. Kind of wish this one was a little closer, but the studs, you know, the studs. Anyways, so that's that. Then I also have put some books up here on the fireplace mantle, which is probably going to be a regular occurrence. There will probably be more books on top of the fireplace mantle because I'm running out of space. But this I'm so excited about. I finally put some lights underneath the bookshelf, and also don't mind the stool that's right here. That's normally there, but the blanket is normally not thrown on top of it like this. But this is the bookshelf. So where this picture is, I've got room. I can put something there, although I have to put the camera for the dog there, unfortunately, because of where the outlet placements are. Kind of wish it wasn't on the bookshelf, but hey. Then I also have some space down here where these are a good majority of some of our roommate's books and some of her mangas. But also this shelf has some of her books mixed in as well. And then we've got this shelf and this shelf here. I honestly love this lighting. So that's what we're looking at and what we're working with currently. And then of course in the bedroom, I've got this bookshelf, which is going to need some cleaning and tidying up. It's kind of gotten a little bit junky, I would say. But I am happy with it. All my like Emily Henry books and some of my favorite other like books that are here. Oh, I got a Labubu. I know it's like all the rage right now. And I told myself I wasn't gonna get one, but one of my coworkers was like, I'm gonna get one. I'll order one if you want one. And I was like, sure, I'm not gonna fight for it. So if you're gonna do it, great. But yeah, so that is that. Those are all the books in the haul and what the bookshelves are looking like currently. I did end up buying those shelves because we're just running out of space for books, which probably means that I need to go through at some point and see if there's anything else I need to get rid of, which I do already have a few books in a little thing underneath the coffee table that I need to get rid of, but you know, all in good time, all in good time. But I think that is going to conclude today's video, guys. Honestly, I don't know what's going on with my hair. I'm going to be taking this out. So the next time you see me, I probably won't have these in anymore. Yay! Anyways, I will catch you guys in the next video. Bye!